Hi, boys and girls. We are going to start reading chapter 6 of our story with Hank. We'll see how he's doing with his reading, because he really wants to be able to help greet and present the author that's coming, but he can't read the book. But his friends are helping him, so let's see what happens. If you're wondering if I finished Journey to Jupiter, that was the name of the book, you can stop wondering now. The answer is a big fat no. It's not that I didn't want to read it. I saw the letters on the page. I just couldn't sound them out. That's why when Frankie, Ashley, and I walked into the tryouts the next day, I wasn't feeling my most confident. We took our seats on the big colorful carpet in the middle of the library, the place where Mrs. King holds all of our reading assemblies. Okay, so this is them, I guess, walking into class. We whispered to one another, making a plan that we hoped would work. I'll start, Ashley whispered, because I can summarize the story really well. I'll go next, Frankie said. I'll tell all about the main characters. Zip, you can wrap it up. What am I going to say? I whispered in panic. You know I haven't finished the book yet. Where are you up to? Ashley asked. The middle of page 1, I answered. The library door opened and the judges walked in. There was Mrs. Adolph, who, as always, was dressed all in gray. Her skirt was gray, her shoes were gray, her hair was gray, even her knees were gray. Principal Love followed her. His Velcro sneakers squeaked all the way across the library floor. Last was Mr. Rock, who smiled and waved at all the kids as he bounced in. So that was the author in the front, then the principal, and then Mr. Gray. Mr. Rock. They sat down and called up the first person. She was Grace. I don't remember her last name. A third grader who used so many big words she sounded like a walking dictionary. Ms. Adolph was so impressed that I thought I saw a smile trying to escape from her serious lips. The next people to try out were 2 girls from the 3rd grade. They giggled from the moment they stood up until Principal Love asked them to step into the hall to get control of themselves. They never came back in. So I guess they were just giggling manias, huh? After them was Luke Whitman, who is actually a very good reader. It's one of the few things he can do with one hand while picking his nose with the other. Ew. After Luke was Heather Payne, the tallest girl in our class, who does everything perfectly. Of course, she did a perfect job. How are we going to follow that? I whispered to Frankie and Ashley, sinking lower in my seat. Do you want to get your picture on that bulletin board or not? Frankie asked. That's all I needed to hear. I got fired up again and ready to go, which was a good thing because we were next. When we stood in front of the judges, I flashed my best smile, the one filled with my zipzer attitude. Miss Adolph stared at me like she had just licked a sour lemon. Can you make a sour lemon face for me like you just licked a sour lemon? That's what Miss Adolph seemed to look like when he was up there. Ashley and Frankie each did an amazing job of describing the plot and the main characters. And then it was my turn. Let's see what he does. You don't need to hear me discuss Journey to Jupiter, I began, because my teammates already covered that. Instead, I'm going to discuss how we can show Paula Hart the best time ever here at PS 87. Mr. Rock gave me an encouraging smile. First of all, we could give her some pickles from my mom's deli, because everyone loves a dill pickle. We could be very polite and thank her for visiting us. We could make her laugh. For instance, I have a great joke about Jupiter. Want to hear it? No, said Ms. Adolph. Yes, said Mr. Rock. I didn't wait for Principal Love to answer. Knock, knock, I said. Who's there? Said Mr. Rock. Jupiter, I said with a grin. Jupiter who? Jupiter, hurry, or you'll miss the bus. Get it? Jupiter, like you better. Mr. Rock cracked up. I could tell Principal Love liked it because the mole on his cheek did the hula dance. The other kids in the library laughed out loud. Only Ms. Adolf didn't crack a smile. There's no laughing in the library, she growled. In fact, this team is out of the running for being too silly. Sounds sad. Not so fast, Ms. Adolf, Mr. Rock said. I know Paula Hart, and she's a very funny person. She puts humor in all of her books. I think she'd get a big kick out of Hank and his team. They're my first choice. Wow, I couldn't believe my ears. My eyes moved to Principal Love. He was going to be the deciding vote. I wish I understood what he said next. Humor is also known as the word comedy, he began. It is the opposite of drama, which is serious and does not involve laughter. Yet it seems to me that the visit of Paula Hart is an appropriate occasion for laughter, which also helps with the digestion of vegetables. Is he saying yes or no? I whispered to Frankie and Ashley. Whatever he's saying, he's taken a long time, Ashley whispered back. While I usually agree with Ms. Adolf, Principal Love went on, in this case, I have to go with Mr. Rock. So what does that mean? It was a yes. 3 of my favorite letters, Y-E-S. I could already see that bulletin board in my mind. There was my picture grinning at everyone who passed by. Get ready, bulletin board, here I come. And that ends our chapter 6.